Going to be in theaters this Friday in 3D and in IMAX. Kim Isaacson is joining us with Clever Carriage. Of course, she is CEO, fashion designer extraordinaire, bringing us her home decor. Kim, this is absolutely beautiful comforter set. I know there's a lot of workmanship you're going to walk us through.
Okay, my inspiration was Sussex Mansion, an estate in England. And I wanted to take an old Victorian piano shawl, and my inspiration was really the embroidery. This, we're doing white on white, which is beautiful.
Oh, it's stunning.
And then we have the white linen with the English toffee. But I want to get across the detail of the embroidery.
Okay.
So I'm gonna actually show you of the detail of how the embroidery works.
Kim, this is a special like craft.
Well, I love embroidery.
Right.
And this particular embroidery is a specific, it's a layering and in density of the embroidery. And if you get a close-up of the embroidery, believe it or not, on a queen-size bed, there's 1,009,000 stitches.
Oh
so
my God.
This is done by machine, but you know, with technology today, they've done an incredible embroidery.
Right.
And I wanted the most luxurious, as if you're a queen living in your own home.
Right.
And when you walk into your bedroom, you know, your bed takes up so much of your room.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about the luxuriousness of the actual embroidery stitch. So you've got it's a white linen, 100% cotton, and you've got this high density of thread count, of layering. It's kind of like an old hand Victorian embroidery, but it's done by machine.
Oh my
but it was really, they worked amazingly, Glenda, to create, so you can see, if you can get a tight shot over here, of the detailing of the embroidery stitch. And it's all about, you know, when it comes to roses, it's a flower that never dies, and there's something romantic and gorgeous about a rose.
Oh my
so
God.
it comes in the white with the English toffee and the color.
Okay.
And then we did white with a slightly off-white color. So you can see and if you love a white bedroom, this is absolutely gorgeous.
It's so pristine and elegant.
It is, it's an elegance factor. And you know, there's something about roses that it had to be the perfect rose for me to do it, because I've been doing roses for 20 years at Clever Carriage, and it had to be something that was so beautiful in the actual embroidery stitch. And I wanted it on linen, on 100% cotton, so you can see the definition of the stitches, and it's the beauty. If you love a white room, and I don't know why, but more men have loved this room as well. Oh. It's not just only women, because I think there's a romance to it, but a sophisticated romantic.
Absolutely.
And I think men relate very easily to the actual embroidery stitch. And it's linen, it's got no frills on it.
Right.
But I
was gonna say the white is very subdued, and I think there is something so sophisticated and elegant about it. I would highly recommend to get this work of art. It is extraordinarily beautiful. I would love to remind you, FlexPay. You get it at home for $44.99, extra flex. You're gonna get the comforter and the two shams coming included. Choose the white, or you have the white with the toffee. But Kim, this is really something that the way it's crafted and created is extraordinary.
It is, you know, with technology today, you know, I love handwork, but today technology and machinery have done such an amazing job on embroidery stitches that they've really created a Victorian embroidery stitch that looks really amazing. That, you know, you're buying something that, you know, as women, we always want to know why we're spending the money. In other words, and it's all about the embroidery stitch. It's 100% cotton, the comforter set, and it comes with the two shams, but there's an incredible beauty that when you see it, it actually looks more beautiful in person.
When I walked in this room, I mean, it took my breath away.
It really is. We worked so hard on this embroidery stitch that the detailing of the embroidery is so important.
Yes. I mean, I honestly believe, Kim, there's nowhere you could go to find anything like this.
Well, let me show you.
I mean, this is like one of a kind.
This is the CAD of the actual embroidery stitch.
Oh my gosh.
So this is what we call a computer-aided design.
Okay.
And you can see how we worked on the embroidery stitch, on the layering of stitching. That you know, when it comes to embroidery, it's all about the leaf, the design of the roses, and roses can look incredibly beautiful. And then if they're not, in other words, if the dimension and the dimensional quality of the layering of the cyst and this rose, the detailing of the stem and the leaves is in perfect harmony. It really is. It's a symphony.
Oh, I love that you said symphony. And even when you come in close, I don't know if how we can with the cameras, but Kim, even the shading in the threads, to me, the highs and lows.
Stitches, and that's because of the stitch count. In other words, it's the layering, 1,009,000 stitches. So you've got an incredible intensity on the layering system. And they've done all, you know, they've got layers, they've got a stitch going across, they've got a diagonal stitch, and it's this dimensional quality. And I think the idea of the shine and the sheen on the white, you know, it's got that sophisticated yet very subtle embroidery.
Oh, I mean, to me, even the sheen and the opulence that you get from it. Kim, I think it's important on it today when we're talking about cotton and how much our customer loves cotton.
Who doesn't love cotton?
Who doesn't love cotton? It's breathable. I think this epitomizes just the glamour and beauty, not only of the film, but in something that will be an heirloom comforter.
It's like, you know, it's an English estate mansion piece. And if you go to hsn.com, I've actually coordinated the story behind, you know, each piece and actually what every piece looks like.
It's true, and you can see that on hsn.com. So many of the items from Alice Through the Looking Glass with Disney and Kim Isaacson, you know, with that collaboration are already selling out. I'm going to double check with Daryl on the white and then the white with toffee, which will sell out first. These are extremely limited. The white on white,
well, you
Kim,
want to be special. You know, we as women, we want something that our girlfriends, when they walk into our room, they think that a decorator did it. And you know, this is what we call a vintage piece, that it looks like, you know, it's got the modern technology of embroidery stitch, but it really looks like an antique piece in a mansion in England.
Oh, Kim, even when you see the sheen and that just
the subtle quality, it's on the embroidery, and it's all about the
soft.
It's 100% cotton. When you have 100% cotton, there's something about a beauty.
And look at the loft.
It's the luxurious quality of the thread and the embroidery on the linen and the design. You know, when it comes to embroidery, it's really about the design of the embroidery and the layering and the amount of stitch count.
Wow.
So you want to so here we've got another, you can see here's the English toffee, and then you've got the white and off-white. So here's English toffee, and then we've got a white on white.
Now, Kim, even though you're talking about that, you know, technology has advanced, does it take a long time even for just the machine?
The machinery, you know, to get this embroidery stitch, I cannot describe to you how many times we redid this embroidery stitch because it wasn't enough. I kept on saying, you know, when a perfume, like, keep on adding fragrance. In this particular thing, it was keep on layering stitches.
Really?
Because it was a stitch count that you wanted the embroidery and you wanted the rose to actually lift off the linen. That
so
it had
very
a dimensional quality to it. And it was only by the stitches, and we kept on layering up more and more stitches because it really, I wanted that romantic elegance and I wanted the sophistication of the embroidery to show. If I was going to do an embroidery for Clever Carriage after 20 years, it had to be the creme de la creme.
It had to be spectacular.
It had to be something amazing, and this in person is spectacular.
It is, Kim, I almost feel like I could close my eyes and I could just
It's a beautiful wedding gift. It's a beautiful, you know, it's also for a guest bedroom. You know, it's one of those for a romantic, that it's the flower that, and it also tells you to stop and smell the roses when you go into bed and when you wake up in the morning. And there's something about when you invest in bedding, you feel amazing about yourself. There's something about when you go to sleep, it's got in your psyche that you've been good to yourself.
Well, it's true. You know, I always say you spend a third of your life in bed. Why not make every second count? You really want something that has quality, not only the ingenuity within the design itself and the way all that embroidery has been finished. When you look at, for as little as $44.99 on 4 monthly installments on your credit card, this is something, I promise, you get it at home. You have a 30-day money-back guarantee, but I promise you, you will not send this back. There is no boutique, Kim, you can go and get this.
It is, you know, it's an antique piece that you're going to see at, you know, at a vintage antique shop.
Antique.
And if you get a close-up of the actual embroidery stitch and the layering of the embroidery, it's like the flower bloom actually pops up from the linen. And I think that the quality of the linen behind the sheen of the embroidery actually shows the sophistication of the embroidery.
Oh, it is. And I do want to share with you, we're already very busy for this, but as Kim said, because this is special, she doesn't want she wants you to stand out and have confidence, not only when you're out and about with her handbags, but in your bedroom where not everybody has it. So limited quantity to go around between the white on white and taupe. Yeah, treat yourself. You deserve it.
Absolutely.
And by the way, may I say, you look amazing. You look gorgeous. I don't know what you're doing, but you're glowing.
All is available on hsn.com.
And that's right. And then on Saturday, right, Kim, we have your beautiful cardigan set.
On tomorrow.
Oh, that's tomorrow. tomorrow?
Actually tonight at 2 a.m.
Okay, tonight at 2 a.m. So we'll see you with that. We're looking forward to that. Continue to call in for your bedding set.
And go to hsn.com.
And see the expanded assortment as well. You can check out all of Clever Carriage.
We're going to be back at 10 p.m. tonight.
Okay, 10 p.m. So we'll see Kim at 10 p.m. Check out the entire assortment on hsn.com. I see Suzanne standing in the wings to continue to take you on this beautiful journey with Disney. So stay in the ordering process for all of your amazing Clever Carriage. I'll see you back on Saturday. Until